All right, everybody. Good afternoon. This is your boy, Luke the Vacuum Saver, tuning back in. How's it been? I've missed you guys. And I'm sure you guys have missed the content on the channel. Well, I'm glad you did if you said you did, because I missed making it for you. I am currently a university, IUP, so that's why I have not been able to film as much as I usually like to. So this is episode number, I believe, 47 or 48, maybe even 50 now, with how many vacuums we've done, and I've done a couple series on here. Luke's Most Memorable was one of them. Then there was one other one, I can't remember of it, but this is almost the 50th regular edition of Vacuum Saved, so woohoo, we did it. So I'm going to call this the 250 edition of Vacuum Saved. Now, you heard me by number. Yes, I now have successfully been able to refurbish and completely welcome back to the world 250 vacuums. So, and then here's two of them. Currently, I'm up to 254. So, yeah, this is going to be a great day for another great video. So, if you're brand new, my name is Luke the Vacuum Saver. I repair these on my spare time and give them back to people in need, typically for free, but I'm going to start selling them for a small price. Find out why later in the video. But these are great vacuums that I have, both from the same retailer that I get most of my vacuums. Oh, and this will be a solo vacuum acquisition, the Hoover Decade 800, so stay tuned for that one. And also, I'm going to need your help as the YouTubers. I've considered starting a live stream, so if you would like to see a live stream of the video and we just talk vacuums for a couple hours, let me know, and I'll try to set one up this summer. So, thank you for your help in advance in helping me choose whether I should do a live stream or not. I'm personally rooting for one. Because, boy, are they a lot of fun to do. Intelitech Studios has done a couple of them. If you haven't checked him out yet, he's a vacuum saver guy just like I am, and he has a lot of good videos. I highly recommend him. Go check him out. He's a great guy, and he's the inspiration of why I started my own YouTube channel from my personal home here. So, that's enough blibber blabber. Welcome to episode number 50 of Vacuum Save, the 250 edition. So, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so over here on your right-hand side, we have a Bissell Cleanview Rewind Turbo. Of course, without the attachments. But this model number is 1852-1852. This is the Bissell Cleanview Rewind Turbo. Now, over here on your left-hand side is a Crown Gem. Yes, I know, some of you may get mad at me. I did just sell my Eureka the Boss wide track for $35 to a local retailer. But they gave me this for free in return. This is a Eureka the Boss Excalibur with a 2-motor system. I repeat, this is a Eureka the Boss Excalibur with a 2-motor system. And I know you guys were going to be excited for this one, so that's why I decided to put it head-to-head with that one. And both of these were a complete disaster, and I got them from the same place. I usually do. Wow Outlet. And by the way, real quick before we get going here at the actual story times, if you're brand new here, these videos are broken down into 4 categories. We have the first category, which is the intro, which is what you just saw there. 1 second, please. Anyhow, what you have the video, the introduction, then what I'll do is a story time, which means I'll bring the machines right about here, and then I'll talk a little bit about each one of them, and you'll get to see them up close. How exciting is that? And then I'll do a test run, which I'll plug each vacuum in and turn it on, and show you how it works on the carpet on each respective side of it here. And then I'll do a conclusion, which is a final thoughts. wrap up of what I think of these machines. So why don't you say we go ahead and get started with the let's go ahead and do the Eureka, the interesting one. Well, take a look at this dinosaur roaming the earth. Well, hello folks, this is Luke the Vacuum Saver. Episode number 50, the 250th edition of Vacuum Saved. So, this is a Eureka the Boss Excalibur Quiet Kleen 2 amp, a 12 amp 2 motor Quiet Kleen system. And boy, when they say Quiet Kleen, they sure mean quiet. It is really nice. It's nice sounding. It could put a baby to sleep. So, this is a very special machine. And I like it so much because of a couple reasons. Number one, it's very easy to operate. And number two, I kind of like retro/old vacuums. And boy, this one has hit the spot in every category for me. So, this is your power switch. Right there, focus please. There you go. Alright, anywho, there's your power switch. Mode 1 just turns on the vacuum. 1 second here, folks. There we go. Mode 1 just turns on the vacuum here. Then if I push it over 1 to mode 2, that will actually start the carpet and the vacuum lights will illuminate down there where that clear little strip is. That's the vacuum lights. And by the way, those do not activate if you don't have the handle release activated right there. Then this is very easy. Just push it across the carpet and it essentially takes you for a ride. It's really, really, really nice. And this has a lot of height adjustments too. I'm not sure, but this is a fully refurbished, all attachments, Eureka Excalibur. Now, I'm not sure which one you guys are going to go crazy for more. The Bissell Cleanview, or are you going to go crazy for this? I can't tell, but both of these are really good. And, one thing I like about it is how long the hose is here. And I really like the feel of how the vacuum feels in your hands. So instead of having the handle here, where they usually are in most of these vacuums, it's the whole way up here. And the benefit of that is your back. Let me show you. So if I release this, see, the handle is the whole way down here. Okay? Now let me show you the Bissell Cleanview. See? The handle is the whole way up here. And that Eureka is down here. So it's a big difference in where you have to run the vacuum in order for it to pick up on the carpet properly. We'll get to the Bissell Cleanview in a minute. That has a really sad story attached with it. But, yeah, back to you here. This is I absolutely love this. And by the way, people, you need to learn how to use the right bag in your vacuum. Because when I picked this up, all of this was just packed with dirt. Didn't even have a bag. I'm not kidding. So there is that. And then it has a nice HEPA filter. And boy, you guys are going to love to see this thing run later. I can't wait to show you. And I believe that does it for story time. And by the way, this hose is extremely long. Like, you could get a lot of effective cleaning done with this in your house. Now, the only downside is this thing is a dinosaur. It's heavy. Like, almost, I would say at least 23 pounds this thing weighs. It's massive. But boy, it feels like you're running a Riccar vacuum when you're running this. It's great. Alright, so that is story time for the Eureka Excalibur. Now, let's go on to a sad little guy that needed my help yesterday, and he sure got it here. This is the Bissell Cleanview Rewind Turbo. Alright guys, hello. Welcome back to Story Time Part 2 of Episode 50 of Vacuum Saved, the 250 edition. So, this is a 1.5-year-old and I'm not kidding, a 1.5-year-old Bissell Cleanview Turbo Rewind. Now, this vacuum was probably the most screwed up design, literally, because I had to disassemble nearly 30 screws to get the motor off from the brush roll housing here to get it all clean. And look how beautiful that just turned out for me. And especially the tank here. Let me just show you the tank, folks. Look at that. It's almost store quality. So, and this is just absolutely beautiful, which I love. So I got this vacuum from Wow Outlet in Greensburg, and boy, this it gave me a challenge that I definitely needed to put myself to the test. And boy, this is one happy vacuum now. It sounds really good. And honestly, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but this is the smoothest sounding and running Bissell I've ever had. So, and you guys are going to see that very shortly here. Now, one thing to mention, the word rewind. Surprisingly, this rewind works. Now, if you can recall, a couple episodes back, I had a Hoover wind tunnel that was a rewind, and its rewind did not work. This one does. Now, if you've never seen a rewind system, essentially what it is instead of the cord being all over the vacuum back here and stuff, it just goes away right under the dirt bin, right there, usually on a vacuum cleaner. Now, typically speaking, I've never seen a vacuum that has the rewind cord coming out the back, right beside the power switch. That's kind of a little bit of a concern if you ask me, because you could accidentally bump the power switch when you hit your cord, and that wouldn't be very good, would it? So, anyhow, if you guys haven't seen a rewind system, I'll just pull a little bit of cord out here. Okay, so we have a little bit of cord pulled out here. Now, watch this. Watch that cord rewind closely, okay? Here, we'll do it this way. Here we go. So watch this cord rewind closely. Simple as that. So that's quite an advantage of having this vacuum. Now, keep in mind, this is almost exactly identical to the 2252, the Cleanview swivel pet that Intelitech Studios has now, that I did years ago when I first started doing vacuums. But this came out way later. This was about the 95A Cleanview time, the non-rewind version that had the switch right here, which was the goofiest design I've ever seen. That's quite low for a vacuum switch. Typically speaking, I see it up here or somewhere around here. But I've noticing that this is a much newer Bissell because the power switch is way up here. And back on the older Bissells, the power switch was right below where the current one is right now. Like right beside the handle release, which was a smart move on Bissell's part. I've had plenty of old Bissells on the YouTube channel here, but these newer ones have just been catching my eye, and I love these new ones. Now, it's so sad to say that this was almost completely unfixable the other day ago, and people lied to me that it had a broken belt. No, it didn't. It had about 1.5 pounds of hair on the brush where you couldn't even see it. And boy, and trust me, people need to learn how to clean out their filters too, and I'm not even kidding you, ladies and gentlemen. You won't believe what I saw yesterday when I pulled this thing back. So here's the dirt bin all cleaned out now, for one thing. Now, take a look at this. Right now, that is totally spotless, right? Well, that wasn't the case yesterday. What happened was, this filter was so dirty that somebody tried to fool me that it didn't have a filter, and they put a shop vac bag on it. I'm not even kidding. They put a shop vac bag over the filter that it was so dirty. I mean, that's a good way for your vacuum not to blow dust everywhere. But for real, people, I've never seen something like that before. But boy, that gave me a challenge and gives me a conversation piece to talk about on my live stream if I so choose to do it. And if you guys want to see it, let me know. Hit me up in the comments to tell me to do one, and I will gladly do so for you guys. But just look at how beautiful this design is. I love this thing, and it is so easy to push around. Here, I'll even demonstrate it for you real quick. Look at that. It's just like a smooth walk in the park. So that's nice. Now, it's time for a test run. What do you say, folks? I'm excited for this. So I'm going to save the best for last here. But we're going to go ahead and run the Eureka the Boss Excalibur with the 12 amp Quiet Kleen 2-motor system. So stand by for a wonderfully running Eureka Excalibur. Oh, and real quick, ladies and gentlemen, while I'm getting this Eureka the Boss Excalibur unwrapped, I did get a request a while back from a YouTuber to do a cleaning video of one of my favorite vacuums, whichever one it was, to go ahead and do a Cheez-It cracker pickup video. I believe I'm gonna use the Kirby G4 for that one, or maybe my Decades 800. Depending on which vacuum I'm feeling that day. So that video is coming soon, so please stand by. I didn't ignore you. So yeah, this is my brand new Eureka Excalibur. So listen to how quiet this thing is, alright, folks? So here, let's just listen to it first. In 3, 2, and 1. And as you can see, the lights have now illuminated because the power is on. Now keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies, I'm not sure if you can hear me over the vacuum, but or maybe you did according to the Eureka, but anyhow, when that vacuum is on, the lights come on immediately, but the brush roll is not spinning. Now, when we release this switch and I push mode 2 down here, which is one switch over, you guys can hear the actual vacuum. So are you guys ready for that? And if you said yes, I think that's a good answer. So let's go ahead and hit this to on. Then here comes the brush roll. Alright, now who's ready to see some action? I think I am. So have at it, Eureka. My goodness me, people, that power behind that brush roll is unbelievable. And take a look at that. So thank you, Eureka. So that was the Eureka Excalibur Eureka. We found one. So now let's go ahead and get this wound back up, and then we'll get started with the Bissell Cleanview test. And I'm afraid we're going to have a winner here. So let's see. Will the Bissell beat my Eureka Excalibur? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Which of these do you think will beat who? So, let's see. We shall see. Alright. So that concludes the Eureka Excalibur test. Now, let's get something much more pleasing to the ear. The Bissell Cleanview. Model number 1852. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the Bissell. There it is. Okay, let's get this guy going. What do you say? Now, although this Bissell Cleanview may look like a dinosaur, it's not at all. It's very light. So, let's go ahead and show you a refurbished run-up. So here comes the Bissell in 3, 2, 1. Well, what did I say? A clean Bissell's a happy Bissell there, huh? So let's go ahead and see how she does here on the carpet for us. In 3, 2, 1. Oh boy, I love that sound, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, it's already starting to grab all the debris that's under the carpet there. This thing is unbelievable. And how about that for a nice vacuum there, folks? That thing is nice and quiet. I like it. How about all of you? Alright, so let's go ahead and get this wound back up here. The machine will actually do it for me. So then here's one more chance to show you the rewind. Well, how about that? Isn't that cool? And now you just gotta feed that last little bit in there. Bam. Simple as that. Alright, let me put these two back together and I'll give final thoughts here. Alrighty guys, as you guys can see, both of these are fantastic vacuums. And boy, they did a good job for what they could do. I'm sorry about the dinosaur causing so much noise over here. But it is a much older machine. But to the totally destroyed 1.5-year-old vacuum, welcome back. It's good to have you here, and I hope you run for many years for me up here in the garage. So this has been Luke the Vacuum Saver, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, guys.